In a few weeks, Subnautica Below Zero will be releasing, or maybe you're watching this after release has already happened. Maybe you've already been playing Subnautica and you've held off of playing Below Zero because you wanted to have a fresh experience when you first start the game, since it's been in early access for a while. So if you've been hiding under a rock or just actively avoiding Below Zero information so you can have a fresh look at it, then let's talk about a few of the key differences you may notice between Subnautica and Below Zero. First up is the overall feel of the game. Subnautica is a survival game. It is about being stranded on an alien world and trying to get back to civilization. In Subnautica, your character wasn't talking, it was just listening to others. You listened to the sunbeam messages, to the messages from other survivors. You even listened to Big Mama, the Sea Emperor, but you didn't carry on a conversation. This aspect helped a lot with the sense of isolation in the game. In Below Zero, we don't get that. It's not just a factor of the change in the story aspect itself, it's the fact that our character is carrying on conversations. We talk to other characters and even talk to ourselves in the game, which is admittedly realistic. But it's because of this two-way conversation that we lose a bit of that feeling of isolation in the game. Next up is the changes to the heads-up display. In Subnautica, we were worried about not getting too hot, meaning not being cooked alive. In Below Zero, we have to worry actually about our body temperature dropping too low and dying from hypothermia. In Below Zero, we still get the same main focus on our O2 level. But when you transition to open air, you're going to see the focus go to your body temperature. So instead of changing the heads-up display to add another meter, we now have a transitional heads-up display that focuses on what is the critical element. The next key difference follows along with the focus on body temperature, in that Below Zero is less about being in the water than Subnautica was. In Subnautica, we had the floating island, the mountain, and the insides of precursor locations for our open air environments. In Below Zero, we now have entire biomes that are oriented around open air exploration. Below Zero is still a game about exploring underwater, but adds more land-based exploration than we had in the original Subnautica. Now let's talk vehicles. If you're a fan of the vehicles in Subnautica, you may be disappointed in Below Zero. The fan favorites, Seamoth and Cyclops from Subnautica, have been replaced by the Sea Truck in Below Zero. The Sea Truck takes upgrades in the truck itself, like the Seamoth, but you won't be throwing any storage upgrades on it. Where the Cyclops allow for customizing the inside, the Sea Truck allows for you to customize what additional modules are added. Think of a train where you can add more cars in various arrangements, customizing what you add and in what order. But you won't be customizing the inside like you could with the Cyclops. So again, if you like the vehicles in Subnautica, you may find the options in Below Zero a bit limiting. Let's talk about buildables, more specifically base building. Like the first game, base building is a significant part of Below Zero. Even more so now that we do not have the Cyclops to serve as a base on its own. So we get more buildable items and a greater focus on base building. But we also get buildable items that can change. Certain buildables will change based on where you place them. For example, the alien containment will build bigger in the large room as opposed to the standard look in the multi-purpose room. The hatch will also change based on if you are in water or on land. Next, recipes. Some of the recipes you may be familiar with in Subnautica are going to be different in Below Zero. We have some of the same materials from the first game, but also some materials that have been replaced with new ones. For example, there are no stalkers in Below Zero to provide stalker teeth, so enameled glass has a different recipe. Fortunately, you don't have to remember the new recipes while looking for supplies, as we can now pin recipes to the heads-up display to track the ingredients. And last, this isn't really a difference between the games themselves, but more of how they were handled, and that is the platform. Subnautica originally released for PC with ports to consoles happening later. Below Zero is set to release for all platforms on the same date, so a lot more people will be getting it on non-PC devices right away. But why does this matter? Well, if you're wanting to use mods with Below Zero, you need to get it on PC from the Steam or Epic stores. Sorry, but console players are out of luck unless the devs decide to add in-game mod support. If you are a one and done player, this won't make a difference to you, but if you enjoyed the original game and played it multiple times through, you may want to go with the PC version for Below Zero and have some fun with mods. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for this. So if you're watching this before Below Zero has been released, well, we gotta wait. If it's afterwards, go buy the game, have some fun. Just make sure you played Subnautica first.